channel, our market president, Linda Bird, really pushed me to be involved with this Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. She encouraged me to work with this great organization and rebrand the essence of Rumba 100.3 in this community. Without her believing in me, I would not be here today to present such a great man. She's here with us today. I would really take thanks to you on behalf of our Hispanic community, Linda. As Diana and I brainstormed a few months ago of what Rumba could bring to the table, we agreed that the best way to contribute would be to add something that would celebrate our Hispanic heritage. That humble beginning that started from the bottom and rose to greatness, story that so many of us come to this great country dream of. The decision was easy. We choose a legend whose charm, skill, and perseverance opened many, many doors and broke down barriers from Latinos today. Today I present to you a man who is a veteran of the United States military. He has 18 PGA tournament titles, 22 senior PGA titles, and listen good, 38 hole-in-ones, 2 hole-in-ones in a single round twice. You know golf? That's playing golf. A man with many PGA records that still stand today, recipient of the Bob Jones Award, the highest honor given by the United States Golf Association. A man who I am lucky to call my friend. I'd like to share a personal story with you, if I may. Chichi and I were having lunch together the other day, and as our waitress walked by with this huge platter full of dishes, she accidentally dropped them close to our table. Our speaker was the first person to kneel by her side and help pick up the pieces. And as I looked at him when he returned to our table, he spoke some very true and sincere words. Hector, my friend, that was me many, many years ago. Words from this gentleman have stayed with us for years. Here's some of his most famous quotes. No one has much luck around the greens as one who practices a lot. When Lee Trevino and Jack Nicklaus win, it's good for golf. When I win, it's better. I am getting so old, I don't even buy green bananas anymore. That's Chichi. I love this one. I don't exaggerate, I just remember big. I'd like for you to please stand. I know you're having lunch now. It is with great pleasure that I present to you a living legend from Puerto Rico, PGA World Golf Hall of Fame, a man who has inspired millions, un hombre que ha inspirado a millones, Juan Antonio Chichi Rodríguez.
So I don't remember names very much, but I don't forget numbers when they have a bunch of zeros on the right. And I got a little paper here. This is the only thing that I'm going to read today. I thank you, Diana, for bringing me here. I thank Tiffany for helping. I thank your husband. And of course, my friend Hector Marcano. This community here in Orlando will do better because of you. And you Hispanic people are hardworking people. And I'm glad to see that all of you are getting along so beautiful. And you're helping each other. And that's what life is all about. Now I'm going to tell you of the things that I do. Dr. Novello, thank you for being here. I mean, this is the pride of Puerto Rico, this lady. She's, I want you to know that I turned down a lot of movies because they wanted to use live bullets on me. And the things that I do, this medal that I have here, I wear it very proudly because I have #1 school in Florida for alternate kids. These are troubled kids. And I'm proud to tell you that we have a curriculum for 93 kids. We do over 1,000 kids a year. And 99% of my kids graduate from college. Unheard of. 99% of the kids attend the school every day. We don't take any federal money because the first thing our kids do in the morning is they pledge allegiance to the flag of this great nation of America. We never had a fight, never had an argument. This school was born in a jail for kids, and with $1,000 in an old car. And now, 32 years after, we don't owe any money. We have more money than we owed. The chairman of my foundation, and they came to me and they wanted to do a golf outing. So I asked him, I said, how much you want to raise? They said, well, we want to raise about $5,000. I said, well, what for? They said, well, we have, you know, very few people know that when an FBI agent gets shot in action, they give the survivor $25,000 and it's over. That's it. So if they have like 3 kids and they have to go to college, they had to borrow the money and they couldn't pay. So they had $400,000 in there. They call it Jimmy Fund. So I said, well, guys, if you want to raise $5,000, I'd rather give you 25 and we don't do anything. Because you want to raise some good money, we can do that. I bring my friends in and we raise some good money. So I say, how about raising $150,000? We can do that. So we raised $150,000. That was 20 years ago. Now we have 7 million. We have 107 young people going to college free. We have an endowment. This is the truth. In Puerto Rico, we gave money to examine the kids' hearts. We bought machines for them. And before we went in with that hospital, they had to take a liquid IV and put it in the veins of a kid to see what was wrong with their heart. Then they would x-ray the heart. Well, we bought them computerized machines that you could do the, what do they call that? Huh? Yeah. When I look at the members drive these beautiful cars in that place, and I was always a dreamer. I knew where I was going to go when I was a kid. Look at the wife I got. I used to always think that I had a Hawaiian beautiful woman like that. And you know what? The family is the most important thing on earth. You got to keep the family together. For 48 years we've been married, and I'm going to keep her another 50. But anyway, I see these members drive in, and I used to paint myself driving a car like that through that gate. And I used to tell the kids, I say, you know, someday I'm going to drive a car like that through that gate. And they used to, this is exactly what they used to tell me. They say, Chichi, You are a hound dog dreaming of pork chops. I said, someday I'll do it. And you know what? I drove that car through that gate. I drove a car through there. And I became a waiter at the club. And I found out later on in life that it's not the length of the car that makes a man, it's the size of his heart that makes a man. I never in my life looked at somebody down. I could look down on Mother Teresa. She was so small. And she shook my hand and she says, the first thing that came out of his mouth, she says, you are rich. How come you don't share with the poor? President Marcos was a friend of mine, and he arranged that meeting with her. He asked me if I wanted to meet the Pope or Mother Teresa. I said, we'll always have another Pope. We'll never have another Mother Teresa. So I had a check in my hand, and I gave it to her, and I said, Mother Teresa, how do you know I don't share with the poor? She started looking at the check, and she wouldn't talk. She knew she had sinned, you see. So I broke the ice, and we started talking, and she had 7 nuns with her. And that was it. All she talked about was compassion, compassion, and compassion. Anyway, when I become 19 years old, I go in the United States Army. $72 a month is the most I made. I'm a 2-star general now of the United States Air Force. I think I'm the only honorary 2-star general. General McPeak made me that. He was the one that won Desert Storm. He was 4-star general. General Conaway gave me the 1st star, and he's one of the big sponsors of my school. I wish all of you someday will take a little time to go and see my school in Clearwater, Florida. Dan Quayle went there when he was vice president, and he said, Chief, this is the best thing I've ever seen. If we win again, we'll do this throughout the United States. And I told him, I said, we can find some role models that we can name their schools after them. We can teach them how to do it. But they didn't win. But anyway, I go into the United States Army, and first of all, I was, $56. Camp Chaffee, Arkansas, and Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Now they can't even find my records. My records burned down with a bunch of other soldiers. But they're looking at, I think I got a spot in the cemetery in Arlington, but I ain't going there. I'm going to be cremated, and the ashes will go to the school in Florida. My wife wants to take me to Hawaii. I told her to surprise me. Anyway, I came out of the Army, and I went to work in a psychiatrist clinic. I was an orderly or nurse, whatever you call me. And I was the only one that could control the mentally ill people. Even the psychiatrists, when they became violent, the schizophrenics, you couldn't control them. But I used to go on. You know why I quit? Because one time there was one guy named Benjamin, and he would go like this all day long. And one day I found myself doing the same thing. And I said, oh my God, I gotta quit. But anyway, Lawrence Rockefeller built this beautiful golf course in Puerto Rico. I won the post championship in Fort Sill, and I won the club championship. And my sister told me to go there and look for a job. I said, they're not going to hire Puerto Ricans there. That was the first negative thing in my life. I didn't think that it could happen. So I took my discharge and took my golf clubs, and the first pro there was a guy, 5 minutes? Yeah. going to talk 5 more minutes, then let you people ask me some questions, okay? So, Ed Dudley was the first pro at Augusta, Georgia. He gave me the first steak I ever had in my life. You know, when I was in the Army, I used to go to the chow line and I see this steak, and I didn't know what it was. I knew the pork chops, you know. I took the pork chops. Anyway, he gave me a job. I was making $80 a month at the psychiatrist clinic, and he gave me $300 for a lesson. So I started teaching golf. Anyway, I'm practicing one day, and I'm hitting 2 irons, 220 yards. And Mr. Roberts, who was the president of Augusta, came down, and he was watching me, he said, for over 3 hours. And this is when I knew that hard work really worked in life. He walked to me with Mr. Dudley, and he says, "Hey, young man," he says, "I like your work ethics." "Thank you, sir." He said, "How would you like to play the Masters?" I said, "Well, sir, I never won anything." "And who are you anyway?" He says, "I'm the big man of the Masters. I run the whole thing. And I want you to play there. And you are now the Puerto Rico Open champion." So he said, "When you come to Augusta, you are the Puerto Rico Open champion." You know what a Puerto Rico Open was? We didn't even have a Puerto Rico Open. So anyway, that's the way I got into Augusta and played the Masters. Since then, you know, I have done a lot of good, and I have all of you in my heart, because you know what? Isn't life amazing? Here I was, a waiter at a place like this, and here I am as your keynote speaker. You know, this only happens, you know, and I'm going to tell you something. America may have a tough time now and had a tougher time not long ago, but America always comes back. See, we have a system called free enterprise, capitalistic, democratic system that works. And although we're Hispanics, it's very good to admit that we're good Americans too. And when somebody tells me that I'm a second-class American, it offends me. I'm a first-class American citizen of this great nation that give little people like me big opportunities like this. Right now, I feel like I'm 5'6", 5'6.5". But right now, I feel like I'm 10 feet tall. Because I'm in front of you here, you listen to what I have to say. And in my heart, I love every one of you. So now I'm open for questions, right? Thank you very much. Anybody have a question?
I'm sure we do. I'm sure we do. If you want to raise your hand, we have 2 people with mics that will be walking by. We have right here.
Chichi, my name is Julio Rocha. I am actually the guy who saw the Bible that stutters. That was me. Thanks for sharing the story.
He stutters.
Huh?
He stutters, and he's thanking you for the story.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you.
That maybe you're going to expand that to other counties and other states right now working for you, or no?
In another state?
You want to expand that outside of Clearwater?
Well, if you wanna do one, we can teach you how to do it, but not with my name, because I'm not the Lord, you know. I thought he drank the water. I can't hear out of this ear, nothing out of this one.
Hola, ¿me escuchas? Ahora. Vicky Jaramillo, estoy con el Aeropuerto Internacional de Orlando. You used to have a signature move that you had every time you had a putt, and then you kind of put it in a sword. Could you do that for us?
My name's Soraya. I was wondering, how did you handle the prejudice in the golf industry when you were starting out?
Okay?
How did you handle the prejudice in the golf industry, if you had any?
The president.
Prejudice. Was anybody prejudiced against you in the golf industry?
I never had a chip on my shoulder. I never allowed anybody to prejudice with me. I'm going to tell you some stories at Long Island. And one of them was a Jewish, who was my best friend, Leo Pivnik. He was a Russian Jew. And then we had an Italian couple. And I didn't like the way that the guy looked at me. You know, in the eyes, you can tell the story of a person. So one day I told him, I said, Nick, you know, we're having dinner. And this went on for about 3 or 4 years. I say, I want to see you outside. So we went outside, and I say, Nick, I know you don't like me, but I want to know why you don't like me. So he says, you know, I don't know why I don't like you, but I don't. I said, well, let's shake hands and be friends, damn it. You know, you feel very uncomfortable when you're around me. So we became the best of friends. I broke the ice. And there was a pro on tour that every day, I knew he didn't like me either, so I'd say, good morning, so and so, I'm not going to tell you his name. He barked like a dog. So this went on until we became senior players. So one day he started talking to me one day. So he says, you know, can we sit down? I got to talk to you. So I said, okay. So he says, you know what? He says, I never liked you, and I don't know why I didn't like you, because you're the greatest little guy I've ever seen in my life. I say, can I shake your hand? He said, yeah. That's how you break the ice. Somebody tells a joke that you don't like, forget about it. Life is too short. I mean, people used to ask me, they say, are there jungles in Puerto Rico? I said, look at my tail. I'm a monkey. Yeah. I didn't argue with him. Yeah. No complex. I have no complex.
How about a round of applause for Chief?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go by your booth. I'm going to go over there and see what you're selling. And I want you to know that my body's going to be traveling, but my heart is going to be staying with each one of you. And when you get home tonight, tell your wife I love you, and give her a nice hug. Give her a nice hug, and tell the kids you love them too. Keep them together, okay? God bless you.
So Chichi, on behalf of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, all of the people in this room, our board of directors, our trustees, our sponsor, and of course Clear Channel and Hector and I, we would like to present you with the Sun Award. The Sun Award says that this is for unquestionable character and constant generosity. We present this award to Juan Chichi Rodriguez, April 12, presented by the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Metro Orlando. This is for you.
I won many awards with my golf club. I won 38 tournaments. This one, I won with my heart. So I love it. Thank you.
So,
Vete, Mario, vete.
Really close.
Vete, Mario.
1, 2.
Vete, Mario. Deja Mario.
Mario está ahí.